subdivision level 2. I use a bigger brush because I'm going to basically make the whole thing a little bit wider. Something like that. Okay, so now you can see, I don't know if this is right. Okay, right. So from this distance, let's see if it's helping us to, I want to raise this a little bit more. Okay, let's see if it helps. I do get that kind of feeling, like the triangle shape kind of head feeling a little bit more. It's not a huge change, but especially judged from the distance right here. I think it's a little bit better. Again, if in the end it doesn't work out, no, it's easy for us to change it back. A little bit weird over here. Okay. Let's see if I can find other head shape kind of photo. This one's pretty good. So it's around here. And this one. And this one. Okay, I don't think this. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's see how much it changed. Okay, just a little bit, but it's fine. So far I like this a little bit more, so let's just keep it. That's why I have it on the layer. If in the end I like the results, I can either merge them into the secondary shape scope, or I can just leave it as a layer. So now we can move on to the mouth. For the mouse, I'm trying to get this kind of feeling. I don't want it to be closed, so like a little bit open, just a little bit. So let's see. Create layer, mouth, detail, shapes. Okay. So mouse shape changes all the time. I would say this is close to the feeling that I want, especially, it's kind of have a little bit corner polar here, which indicated it's kind of like smile, and which is the thing that I don't want to. So I don't want to follow this part, but I do want to get this kind of feelings. So first of all, I need to open its mouth a little bit, right? In order to do that, let's go to subdivision level 1. Quick way to do that is the same. Go to Move tool, hold Control and Alt. There. Around here. And let's do this. So from here, I want to blur the mask. Let's set the pivot point from the jaw area and rotate. Let's see how it works. Just like that. So you just open a little bit. Oh, okay. I need this to be straight. So when I move, it will move straight down like that. Yes. Okay. So just a little bit. Maybe this is a little bit too much. But something like that. Okay, so I want to do this too. Because I don't want to move anything over here. I just want to move over there. thing's a little bit too much. I think that's a little bit too much too. So just a bit. Yep, just a little bit. Now let's get in and start in sculpting the shape. Before we do that, I need to basically this will be better. Let's do this. Just leave this part and you can have a little bit better control. So right now is a good time to just use the move typological brush, because I want to get this kind of feelings. I'm trying to create the kind of sticking lip kind of feeling. So I'm just basically using move tool to get a feeling, and the other hand is basically I don't want like the gap between the mouths just be like a line. I want to have different shapes in there. So there's that. Now you can kind of starting sculpting the shape basically on what you have. So definitely see the line over here. It's going down there. It's totally fine. Let's lay down the basic line. For the shape, we definitely get this shape over here. You can see this. And when I go in, you have, again, I'm being a little bit heavy-handed. It's fine for the base shape. You have that. And you have more full kind of feeling on the lip. It's definitely not that obvious. So I'm gonna do this. The bottom lip, it's more important. It would be really hard to just use one photo and to kind of tell the shapes, but just need to give it a try. No. Alright, so I need the thickness around the lip. Let's try it. Well, that'll work. For the bottom eyelid, the bottom lip. Well, basically, this is pretty flat. You know, he has a pretty flat mouth around his hair, the bottom lid. So I'm going to try to do that like this kind of flat. But you have to be very careful. Do this, give it a line. This is definitely not as heavy, especially the top. Smooth it out. Smooth it out. Now, just need to move this down a little bit. Let's match the shapes over here. So this, you see the shapes going around. Rounded feeling. Kind of feel that I need to open this a little bit more. Let's see, how can I get inside? There. I need to. I'll just use the same way that I taught you guys. I just need more of the thickness of the lips. Yep. Okay. It's getting closer. I don't think this is as much. Okay. I know, looks like his mouth is open a little bit more, and it is. But for what we are doing, it's really fine. I'm just toggling around and seeing what's the feel. And I think I need to change something. I need to make this bottom eyelid thinner. So just gonna move this up a bit. And while we are over here, let's change this as well. It's around the mouse part, so it's fine. Basically, you'll have a more darkened edge over here, deeper, and separate this two. And this is thicker. Okay, maybe not that much. And the area, I would reduce some of the value over here. Let's reduce it a little bit. Same as this side. Okay. I don't like how this line is too pronounced. So just kind of smooth this out. And to make it a little bit more symmetrical, I'll pull this up a little bit more. And this down a little bit more. Okay. I think we got kind of the feelings there. And after the detail, it will be better. So for now, it's fine like that. Okay. So since I opened the mouse a little bit, I want to make sure that the corner of the mouse wheel is not changed. So I'm just gonna drop it a little bit more. Just like doing this. Yep, that's fine. Maybe this is too much, but this all can be changed after. So let's see. Mouse expression. Close. Open a little bit. Yeah? Okay. We're close to the detail part. So there will be detail, there will be wrinkle, there will be expression. This will be all in the layer, so if we want to see the result a little bit earlier, we can just do expression first and then go to detail and wrinkle. And we're gonna do some mustache and hair as well. So this is the mouth shape detail part. Okay. I'm still not very happy about the likeness. But I think it would do. I do think maybe I do this a little bit too over. I want to bring just a tiny bit. Don't be afraid to, if you think change something will make the sculpt more realistic, don't be afraid to do that. Now I'm change things around and see if the proportion will get better. That might help a little bit. But so far, yeah, that might help a bit. Since I didn't get to do it on layer, I'll basically just delete store move target. Remember this is subdivision level 2. Never mind. I mean, I just go to the hat shape change and do it over there. getting closer. We did it from all the way from here. To here. So it's getting closer. Next we're gonna talk about either the expression or the detail. I might go to expression first. I might go to expression and do the hair and a mustache. See the whole feeling, move on to detail. And that's the final part of sculpting. Alright, let me save first, then we can move on. Okay, so we're almost done with the sculpting. The last part, but it's also pretty complicated, is the pore, the skin detail part. I will separate this part into different sections. But before that, before we really get into it, I did some change on my model. So the things that I usually do basically is when I sculpting until this kind of level, basically showing the likeness of the character without any detail. I basically using, because we know that ZBrush camera, it's not really accurate. Let's just put it that way. And for me, my final goal is basically render in another program, another software, like, well, let's say Keyshot, V-Ray, Mental Ray, whatever you want to do, because the camera is way different. So what I usually like to do is when I at around this kind of level, I export this out. There's few ways you can do it. You can decimate it and then export it out, or you can just, if your computer is good enough, you can just export it out on the highest 17 level, which is around, mine is around like 3 million something. So basically just export this out, and my chosen of the software is Keyshot. I use Keyshot to do a quick render a lot. It gives me a really the result that I'm looking for, and with a pretty short timing. So I basically put this into Keyshot and just apply really simple material. You can see, if you use to get into Keyshot, you can see under the translucency material there's like human skin or something, you know, just put that on. That's basically what I did. And basically this is the result that I get, and I don't really like it. From far away I can kind of see the actor, but I feel something is not right around his feature, like eyes, nose. I would say his proportion is not that right, accurate, or I don't feel like it. So basically I import his picture inside, and I kind of compared. I know it's not exactly the angle, but it gives me like an idea. If I want to fix it, how do I fix it? So the most obvious thing that I'm seeing is the jaw, right? The jaw is way smaller. The nose is a little bit bigger, and the position of the eyes is too high on my end. So I basically did just use liquify to kind of doing this, just kind of making a mark that where do I need to change. Now you can see the difference, and now I like this result a lot better. Alright, but this is just in Photoshop. I use the liquify to basically move it around and change it. And then I go back to my ZBrush and I basically did this. I keep it in a layer so you guys will see it. So I call it phase proportion change. It's a pretty big change, and I would like to keep it in layers just in case if I change my mind or something. So you can see it's not, well, it's a pretty big change at this stage, because at this stage basically everything should be kind of finalized in terms of position, shape, and all that. But I didn't change the shapes around the face. I basically changed the position of the features. So let's get a little bit further and let's look at it again. Before, after, before, after. So I like this result a lot better. After I change it, then I export this one out, going to keyshot, and this is the result that I get. In different angle, basically. So I would say we are already really close to the likeness of the character. There's few things that I notice. I think of the shape, I can still do better job, especially on around like cheek area. I would like to throw a little bit more asymmetrical feeling to make it more alive. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the references again. I look more into Prison Break, few episodes, and I basically took some screenshot from different angle again. So we're gonna go to this process and basically finalizing the shape of the face that we're sculpting, and then we can move on to detail. Alright, so to do that, of course I'm gonna create another layer, but before let me just show you guys the references that I get, the new references. Let's say it's from here. Okay. You can see definitely like the shape over here and how the eyebrow, the brow bone connect to the cheekbone, and how the shapes look like. I like this one a lot. You can see definitely like the shape over here. And this gives me a lot more shape to sculpt around the nose. As you can see, the shadow and the highlight and all that. This one as well. This view is basically for the inside of the eyes. I want to make sure that I'm doing that right. So we'll get into that as well. Okay, and this one. This one's the expression that I like. I might do an expression section just for fun, you know, because I think this kind of express his character. And those for the eyes as well. And this is for the backside, which no one really cares. But as you can see, we are already pretty close. Yeah, we're pretty close on this one. So let's just go back and let's start. Few ways that you can do it. When you basically are finalizing a shape, you can create another layer. Basically, it's finalizing the secondary shape, or you can basically go into each layer that you have. For example, you're doing a shape on the facial face, and just basically go into secondary shape over here. If you're going to change something in the eyes, go into the eyes layer, and mouse layer. So it's really depending on you. But I want to create another one. I'll just say finalize shapes. Alright. So let's start with this one. At this stage, I still recommend don't sculpt on the highest soldering level. At least go to 1 lower or 2 lower. So I'm going to level 4, and then I'm just gonna sculpt on the top. And you can see the highlights right over here. So it's not this line, it's the line over here. And it's kind of running straight up, going there. And more broad over here. That's good. I'll move this down a little bit. And for the mouse, I want this to be a little bit, you can see like angle over here, like around here. So I'm going to make that shape. So you guys can see this round shape. I have a little bit, but I'm kind of hesitate to put more. The reason being, we kind of have an expression here, right? We open his jaw a little bit. So normally when you open your jaw, this part will relax a little bit more. So that's why I don't want to put too much on it. So just let it stay that way. And for here, I want to do the same thing. This is a little bit thicker. Let's move to another one. This one. Okay. Now you can see this is a little bit too sharp for that feeling. So I'm just going to smooth it out. At the same time, put a little bit more round feeling into it. There. I mean, you still have an angle, but it's not that sharp. Maybe this is a little bit too sharp, so I'm gonna smooth that over here. I'm gonna see this triangle. Alright. I'm gonna put this. Again, when I'm moving, go to lower. I want to put the shape like that. And go in here. And the triangle over here. The highlight, I want to be like right here. Right? So make it feel like it's from here all the way to here. Smooth out. Okay. Not that sharp. You can see I don't see like a highlight over there, so I'm gonna smooth this out just a tiny bit more. You can see there's some muscle over here that you can do, so I'm gonna sculpt this in as well. And then you see the shape right over here. You don't need too much. A little bit just to show the feeling of it. The neck, this is just the basic anatomy. But we can get into it a little bit better now. Still want this to be more like that. Yeah. That's a little bit better. So now, here, can you see like a shape over here? Something like this. You can see that, right? Right there. So we're gonna sculpt that in. But at the same time, you don't want to lose the shape that you already have. So you need to be very careful. Now you got a shape from here to here, connect to here. And since we basically moved, just want to move it out a little bit so you can be fuller, but still get the shape that we want. Yep. Okay. So now you see kind of how deep this is. And you can, from this, you can see like the line from here all the way to there. Basically, let me see, it's from like here all the way to here, kind of line. So I want to do this a little bit more. You can see the line over there going down here. Was some volume. Okay, there we go. Let's see that feelings now. There. So you can see the feelings connect from here all the way to there, but it's not this line. Okay, so now we can enhance a little bit of the deep wrinkle that we have. Basically kind of showing where is the deepest part. And here we got almost the same thing. Got this, and then we want some thickness over here. As you can see, it's going down over here, big and broad, narrower. Okay. That's better. Okay, so here basically it's done. You add more shape into it. You can still add a little bit more if we want, but I'll leave it at that. Just this indentation, I'll get a little bit more so I can have that kind of feeling. Okay. Now, let's continue. I can't wait to do all these veins in there to make it feel more alive, but we're gonna do it right. We're gonna do it step by step. So just hold on there. We'll get to that part. Alright, the other side. So here, I'll make make this a little bit deeper. Got its thickness to the wrinkle. Okay, here we can see something. That's something we didn't see it before. You can see like this feeling in there, right? We just need to have it, but not like too much. And I will assume this will go on both sides, not just one. So at least have the shape there. Okay. The line from around here. Break it up. Get deeper. Now let's deal with the eyebrow bone there. You can see this. It's definitely more rounded than I think. More round than that. Yep. Something like that. But I will assume this will be a lot fuller. You can see there is a shape right over here, like this kind of shape. You see that? Right from here to here. And I want that shape to be exaggerated a little bit more. Like there. Put a little bit roundness around here. Smooth the line out. The nose part. This is a pretty big change because, as you can see, we have a pretty big dent right over here. And looks like, look at this shape there. Obviously we don't have enough curve around there. Even if we do, we don't have enough round feeling over here. Now it's better. Basically just keep adding shapes, the shapes that you see. So you see the shapes from here, right, all the way to here. I'm kind of exaggerating when I'm talking the shape with you guys, because I wanted you guys to be able to see it. So now we have the feeling of it. You can see this highlight. Better now. And don't forget there's still a break over here. Right over here. I see this. So I'm going to just break it up like that. Go to lower. Break it up. You can see the breakup, right? You don't need too much. Okay. You can still see there's the shape over here. Something like that, right? Shape over here, all the way to here. Again, a little bit exaggerated, that's fine. You can see this kind of shape over there. But I know he's making some expression, so I'll do it, but pretty lightly. Okay. Move on. Let's see what can we do over here. It's kind of the expression that we have. So, in order to make it more alive, I want to make it a little bit more asymmetrical. So either I move this down or I move this up. This is just a tiny bit. So you can see this right now, it's not the straight line there. and his nose is definitely going left, and I have already gone left, but I just want to enhance a little bit more. Come back a little bit. I want to raise this a bit more. Maybe a little too much. I'm just trying to add some asymmetrical feelings in there. Okay. That's fine. Let's keep moving. Let's see. I think this is a little bit full, like something like that. So I'll just pull this down a little bit. Okay. Now that's a good references for our expression. So you can see the feelings over there. You can see the feelings over here. Okay. Now you got the mark. Let's do the shape. The shape are pretty easy. Just when you do the shape, move around, make sure it's not. You don't want to draw people right into it. And when you're making expression, you have to make sure like the roundness, you feel like the skin is squeezed. So you have that kind of feeling in there. Okay. That's fine. You already have this. So I want to be able to enhance a little bit more. So this, I think the shape is more like that, or even that. But it could be the camera angle, so I'm just gonna leave this so far. Maybe something like this will make sense more, especially from this view. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little bit. Okay, not too much. Keep going. Focus on the shape that we have over here. I think it's good. Just want to add a little bit more. So you can see here it's a little bit more obvious. So I want to make this. Okay. That's good. Smooth it out. Not too much. That's fine. There. Okay. What do we have here? We have our neck reference. I mean, it's not too far away. But let's just make it better. Let's see the shape right over here. And the collarbone. We don't need to focus on the neck too much. So basically I'm just sculpting the basic anatomy on the top. Alright, let's move on. I think it will be very interesting to make this kind of expression. When you do this kind of expression, you can do a lot of exaggeration to make the pose more alive. You can put all the veins popping a little bit more, veins on the neck, you know, that will give the feelings a little bit more on your character. But we're not there yet. We're still refining, right? I see something wrong. Well, not really, but usually when you cast especially like the shadow and the reflection over here, it should be more rounded instead of that shape. So I'm gonna go in a little bit. It should be something, this is way more, but a little bit more than that. Okay. Let's keep going. Almost done. Right now, just the eyes. Alright. So I have decided to move this up. I know there's a lot of references showing this way. Showing this way probably will be good, just because I want to give it more asymmetrical feelings. I'll let it stay this way. Okay. Found something that we didn't really sculpt in. Let's send those over here. Alright, so I need to do this because when I was working in Sony San Diego, I told you guys Rafael Grossetti was my lead, and he made sure that I learned how to sculpt the nose, ears. Those two parts that people don't really focus on. So sculpt the nose. You can take, basically you can look in the mirror and see what's your nose look like. But you will see similar things. I'm sculpting. You can see this kind of feeling that's going up there. So it's here. And not only Rafael, the art director down at Sony San Diego helped me a lot on my anatomy part as well. I usually, because I was basically commuting from Irvine to San Diego every day at a time, so I made sure that sometimes I arrive almostly on time. Sometimes I'm getting really early because I want to learn a little bit more. So basically, there's few pretty good character artists over there that help me out, but I need to get on their schedule. All right, so they kind of their work hours they arrive really early. And they get up early too. So they arrive around like 7 something, and they get up around like 3 or 4. That's kind of their regular hour. So if I want to ask critique for my personal work or my work stuff, by the way, our working hours is started around like 10:30, 10. So I cannot just be there around like 10. I have to be there around 7 or sometimes 6:30. There's just few days, not a lot, okay, few days. I arrive early just because I want their opinion on my personal stuff, and I don't want to waste their time when they're working. So I arrive earlier, and when I ask them right after they arrive, so that's kind of how hard that I work. And those are the character artists in the team. But if I want to ask for the opinion for the art director. He usually works pretty late, so then I have to stay late to get his opinion on my stuff. So there's a lot of days that I basically go in there around 6 something, and I leave around 10 something at night, just because I want to improve myself. So just kind of explain that, I've done this for a while, especially organic facial sculpting and all that, and that's how hard that I was working. Same thing when I'm Naughty Dog. I sometimes go into the weekend, just basically finish some stuff, um, and I stay late a lot in Naughty Dog to make sure that my work get done and to make sure the team meeting and all that was there. Okay. So let's just move on. Sorry, it's hard for me sometimes to talk and the sculpting at the same time. So when I was talking, sometimes just stop there. I apologize to that, but I just can't. I can't really multitask. So let's focus on sculpting. Let's move on. We went through all this. So the one thing that you can see over here is I want to make sure this is done right, which is not yet. Okay. So I think that happened when I was sculpting this earlier, but it's fine. Always check your model so you know what happened. Alright. Something like that should do it. Go in. Smooth it out. Okay. I want to move this in a little bit more. Okay. Now we should be good. Let's see what we got here. It's pretty close. If I really want to pick, I would move this up more, something like that. But that's a pretty big move, and I don't really want to risk it. So the same thing over here. Maybe it's because of camera view. 'Cause right now it seems pretty similar to me. So, but you can move that. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. This one is basically to show the plane over here and look like I have it. So basically what I'm talking about, if I make it more exaggerated, this plane over here, this plane right over here. And then it goes to the middle part. So 3 plane. And that's what I want to make sure that I have it. And I kind of have it. It's basically just it's more rounded. So I want to especially make this a little bit harder. You can see like like a triangle shape right over here. So let's do that. There, all the way to here. Okay. Same thing here. Here, I want this to have a plant a little bit more. Right over here. Okay. That should do it. There, again. Okay, this will be a last check, but I think we got a problem here. This looks like it's going back more. What's the best way to do this? Actually, it's not. I think it's okay. Maybe just like that. And let's go all the way to like here. Okay. I think we finished the basic shape. I promise, now we can get to the fun part. I just review a little bit, just take a look. What does the finalized shape give us? You can definitely see the improvement on that. And let me save, and then we can go to detail.